Hi, this is part two, talking with Heather. Sorry about having only 10-minute things right now, but the fact is we have to do this in hiding or else this family will be attacked. A recollection of what she has said is that they came in, apparently they were black and blue, which they weren't. Parent aides were supposed to be there for 3 months, didn't stay for 3 months. She was in the process of talking about another incident. Okay, Heather, let's start with that incident. What is your recollection again of the second one?
As I was saying, my son was just out of control, and I called crisis and asked them if they could come remove him until he calmed down. Um, at this point, we haven't got all his. We didn't know what all was wrong with him and stuff, and they bluntly told me it was on speakerphone, and they bluntly told me that I was to suck it up and get a parenting class, that they are there for cases of emergency when children are being abused. Appalled, I didn't know what to say. I just hung up on them. I was like, I can't believe I was just told that. Like, seriously, I thought they were there in helping prevent that kind of stuff, and lending hand. This is to say, it got so out of control that my hubby at that time ended up, we were actually able to catch him, and he, without even a whiff of it, without ever being used a belt on him a day in our life, he pulled the belt out off his pants, grabbed him, put him over his leg, and actually hit him with the belt twice. And everybody just stopped. Everybody stopped and just looked. It was like we didn't know what to think. We're like, what the hell just happened? What the hell did we resort to? At which he put the belt down. We sat on the couch and we just sat there in silence for about 5 minutes. While everybody else was in silence, my son crossed his legs, sat on the floor, looked at us, and laughed. And I thought to myself, what's wrong with him? This isn't funny. Like, this is killing us that it resorted to this. We called for help. We were told pretty much to screw off. Shelton looked at me and asked, what do I just do? I said, call in. We called in on ourselves. They were there in 10 minutes. We still have not had time to clean up our place from the destruction of dealing with him. When, I don't remember the caseworker at that time that came into the house, but she came with the paper, asked how long we wanted him to be gone for. I said a week. And she asked what the reasonings were, and I said to have everybody calm down. And we told her what happened. We told her everything. There was witnesses. She looked at me once they ran the names and said that she will be back for the other kids. And me, by this point, I have kind of read up on some of the laws and stuff. And I looked at her and I said, if you feel that we are a threat to our children right now, you are to call the police and get an order and remove everyone right now. She kind of snuffed her nose at me, walked out, and said, mark my words, I'll be back. And I just thought to myself, I'm not going to lie. The back of my head, it was, fuck you. Fuck you, you're going to come back. It wasn't even 3 days that they took him. They dropped him back off at my door without even a phone call to say that he was coming back. They knocked at the door, and I'm thinking, who was at my door? I go to the door. There's my son and the worker. Take your kid. We can't handle him. But I'm the abusive one, right? Me and my husband. Kind of odd, don't you think? They told me to go to this ADHD parenting class. That will solve everything. It was a joke. I went to the class, and not one of those persons have their kids. Their logic was, if you can't handle them, sign them over to welfare. Perfect. Great. Not what I was looking for. I spent 10 minutes in there and I walked out. The worker did do a follow-up to see if I completed it. I told her pretty much, and I'm not going to lie. I told her to go fuck herself. I wasn't taking that class. She told me to watch my tone and that I was told to do that course. I said, you told me to do that course. It wasn't court ordered, and I am not going to sit in that room and listen to a bunch of people tell me that they could not handle their kids and gave their kids up to welfare. Once again, never to be heard from, nothing. Everything was going fine. Then me and my hubby were honestly, we're just all the stress, just everything was getting to us. And we just, he found somebody new. He didn't cheat on me, but he was liking somebody else new. And we just decided, let's just go our own way. Because of the children, he's a stepfather to all of them except for my last child, which was his. We chose that we were still going to be co-parenting, meaning we still discussed things. We still were very actively involved with each other when it came to the children. And this was working great for months. I was going to school. I was working. And then the call came once again. At this point, he was living at his own address. And I'll give a little feedback, just backdating a little bit. The morning that they were taken, one of my kids came out of the bathroom and went into the bedroom, and they were playing with the door, running in and out, in and out. As one kid was going in, one kid was coming out, and as my hubby went to open the door, there was a kid behind the door, and her head got smashed with the doorknob. We were running at that point 10 minutes behind. So needless to say, it was, hugs, kisses, sorry this happened, love you to death. Kate, holding her door, love you, yes, this hurts. Okay, she stopped crying, everything was good. My son kind of told her to, shut up and stop crying. We all got in the vehicle, dropped the kids off, dropped me off. I think I would have been in class maybe an hour. And the phone call came that they were taking my kids. And at that point, it was just my 3 little ones. They honestly, the only thing they could tell me was it was because my husband abused them. And I'm thinking in my head, he had no time to abuse them because the only ones he had were my 2 little ones. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, for between the time he dropped the kids off and he dropped me off.
Sorry to interrupt you. I have a question for you. So they had 3 of your kids, and 2 of the kids were with him. Did they phone the police and put out a missing a persons report to apprehend those 2 children for him?
No, they didn't.
Okay, was it ever explained to you why, if he was abusing them and they apprehended 3 of your children, why wouldn't there be a risk for him to abuse the other 2, knowing that at some point he would have known that they were looking for him and those children? So was it ever explained to you why they never phoned the cops and never had the cops looking for him and those 2 children?
Because he took the 2 little ones and he came and got me and we went and sat at Jason's house. I can be honest, I did not want to hand them in right away. I wanted to spend as much time as I could. And no, the cops were never called. Trying to deal with everything, we finally, near the end of the day, called the worker and told him, we hid the number, and they told us that we had to bring forth their children, or there could be serious consequences.
So now you have phoned the worker to say that, yes, my 3 children have been apprehended. I have 2. But if the abuse was against all of them, what I figure is they all should have been taken. And another part that bugs me is that they put the responsibility into you if you're going to bring your children in. Again, if it is such a big threat, why didn't they have somebody watching your house? Or knowing that you guys are associated with Jason?